All right, today we're going to talk about something really powerful, something straight out of neuroscience, actually. It's all about how to break out of those old patterns, you know the ones, and start building a totally new reality, one tiny deliberate action at a time. Yeah, have you ever felt like that? Just stuck? I mean, we've all been there, right? It's that feeling like you're just running in place, wanting so badly to move forward, but your feet just feel like they're cemented to the ground. It is so frustrating, and man, it can feel like it's never, ever going to change. But here's the thing. What if you're not actually stuck? Let's try a little reframe here. See, the word stuck feels so permanent, right? Like it's a fact. But what if it's not a state, but a loop? A loop is just a pattern. And the best thing about patterns, you can absolutely break them. Think about it. Whenever we fail at something, what do? We treat it like it's this final verdict on who we are, right? Like it's proof that this is our destiny. But it's not. That version of you that failed, that was just a prediction. It was never your destiny, not for a second. Okay, so if it's just a pattern, why is it so hard to break? Why does it feel like you're literally trying to run through a brick wall? That first step towards anything new can feel just impossible sometimes. Well, the answer isn't that you lack willpower. It's much deeper. It's biology. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that internal scream. The second you go to do something new, I don't care if it's speaking up in a meeting or starting a new hobby, this massive alarm just goes off in your head. It's a real physical feeling of, no, stop, danger. Now, this is super important. This is not a character flaw. It's a feature. It's your brain's ancient survival system. I mean, for thousands and thousands of years, this part of your brain had one job: keep you alive by avoiding anything new or unknown. So it doesn't see change as a cool opportunity, it sees it as a threat. Growth actually confuses it. It just wants you to stay small, because to that old brain, small is safe. So how in the world do you get around this ancient programming? How do you work with it instead of constantly fighting it? Well, you don't need some huge, complicated plan. You don't need a personality transplant. The key, the whole key, is just a simple shift in one little question. Okay, so here's what we need to stop doing. We need to stop asking, can I? You know the one. Can I really do this? Am I actually good enough? This question is like an open invitation for doubt. It immediately wakes up that ancient fear system, which is going to give you 1,000 reasons why the answer is a big fat no. You're basically asking for permission from the most scared part of your brain. But now, check this out. What if, instead, you start asking, what if I did? What if I applied for that job? What if I spoke up? What if I just started today? See the difference? This question doesn't ask for permission. It explores possibility. It's such a simple, subtle shift, but it's huge. It kind of sneaks past that fear response because you're just wondering, just exploring. It turns it into an experiment. Let's actually give this thing a name because it's that powerful. Let's call it the neural override. Think of it like your manual override switch for that automatic fear-based program running in your head. When you ask what if I did, you are consciously hitting pause on the loop. You're creating this little gap, and in that gap, a new choice becomes possible. Because here's the hard truth. You can't just think your way into a new life. Look, affirmations are cool and all, but your brain is a stubborn pragmatist. It needs proof. It needs evidence. Action is the only language it really, truly understands. So here's how it actually works inside your brain. It's a really simple, beautiful process. Step 1, you just do the thing you think you can't, even if it's tiny. Step 2, that action creates real evidence, hard data. Your brain sees it. Step 3, that new evidence starts to poke holes in your old limiting belief. It starts to weaken it. And step 4, as you keep doing it, you're literally carving a brand new pathway in your brain. And here's what happens over time. Imagine that old belief is like a 6-lane superhighway in your brain. It's your automatic route. The new action? It's like a tiny, overgrown dirt path in the woods. Yeah, the first time you take it, it's going to be tough. But every single time you choose that new path, you're paving it. You're making it wider, smoother. And eventually, that old superhighway gets all cracked and overgrown from disuse, and that big wall of belief just crumbles. So let's be super clear about what a limiting belief really is. It feels like a fundamental truth about the universe, doesn't it? But it's not. A limiting belief is just a thought you've had on repeat. It's a mental habit. That's it. And the great news about habits is they can be broken. They can be replaced.
And I want to stress this. This is not some fantasy. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is real neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity. Your brain is literally designed to change, to adapt based on what you do. You are hardwired for growth.
And this all leads to a really, really freeing idea. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. Just think of yourself as a system. You have inputs, your choices, and you have outputs, your reality. If you don't like the outputs you're getting, you don't have to tear down the whole system. You just have to change the inputs. And that is the ultimate shift. Your reality isn't just handed to you, it's built. Life stops being this thing that just happens to you, and it becomes something you actively create. You're the architect. You're the builder. And you don't build it with some massive, heroic effort overnight. No, you build it with tiny, consistent brushstrokes. That one choice to speak up, that one email you decide to send, the choice to just spend 15 minutes on something new. Every single one is another little brushstroke on the canvas you're painting. You know that saying, you don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the first step? That's exactly this. We get so paralyzed because we feel like we need this perfect 10-year plan. You don't. You don't need to know what step 27 looks like. Just focus on step 1. The rest of the staircase will show up as you start climbing. You know, we always hear about the self-fulfilling prophecy as this negative thing, right? Like, if you believe you'll fail, you will, and it becomes your prison. But we can totally flip that on its head. What if it's not your prison? What if it's your blueprint? The very plan that you're building from with every action you take. So I'm going to leave you with this. Forget about tomorrow, or next week, or next year. Right now, what is the one brushstroke you can add to your blueprint today? What's one tiny action you can take to start building the reality you actually want? What if you did?